position, we got to address some things. I'm glad everybody got a ring so far, but we got to address some things between Brees Hall and Josh Jacobs. Their salaries right now are about 88 million between the two of them. A lot of money in the running back position. Hey, GMs, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm understanding a little bit. Because I'm sitting here like, damn, Puka. I got Puka at 42 million next year. I got Justin Jefferson, who I still believe is the highest paid player in our league. He's at 54 million next year. So, them positions, I'm like, all right, I understand. Josh Allen, 46 million. All right, I understand. I'm looking at Josh Jacobs and Brees Hall, like, all right, my boys. What we talking about? What up, Bam? Harold Fanning Jr. going into his second year to making 27 million. Now I got him locked up for some years, but he making 27 million.
That was the extension,
right? Yeah,
that was the extension. That was my extension.
I think that was done live on the show, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And hey, I look back on it. That definitely ate a lot of cap that I was anticipating having. I completely forgot about the extension until I. Bam says D's about to have to come up of I'm about to have to come up off a lot of stars. See, here's the thing, Bam. when you have set up your team in a way where there's a lot of outward looking, you see the Orlando Magic Kingdom, we are set up for the short term and the long term. Let me tell you something. Some of my top earners, Josh Allen, his contract expires in 2027. Brees Hall in 2026, so after this year. Josh Jacobs in 2026, after this year. Let's see. Puka, his contract ends in 27. Jetta's ends in 2028. Michael Pittman's ends in 2028 as well. Let's see. And then Harold Fanning Jr., his is a 5-year deal, so his contract ends in 2029. So
it was a 4-year extension. So that would be, Danny, like right now, your biggest contract too is Baker Mayfield.
Mm-hmm.
4-year extension. That would have been signed by the team last year.
And then even some of the guys I signed this year, Bo Nix, his deal, that's a 4-year deal. His contract ends in 2029. And I basically got him on a 4-year, about $66 million deal. Come on now. Ty Simpson, he's locked in until 2029 as a rookie. So, I mean,
because unlike last year, we now have also rookie contracts. This being the second year of this reality sports online league, so we now have rookie contracts kind of populating each team, which also helps save money. Gets some long-term, cheaper contracts to help out in the auctions, and certainly a fun auction this past weekend. Danny's first time as taking over an orphan team, and glad he had fun in his first auction.
So let me ask you guys, what contract, if there is one, the contract that you're most proud of in the contract, you're like, maybe I might regret that.
Kyle, you want to go?
Well, I think in general, I guess, okay. Yeah, so I think probably using my 4-year contract in a really effective way. So with this with this format, league settings are each manager only has 1 4-year contract in each auction year, 2 3-year contracts, and 3 2-year contracts. So you've got those 6 multi-year contracts, and the rest just 1-year contracts.
Oh, wait a minute! I didn't even really know that.
Oh, there you go. So because at a certain point, some of your once you use your 4-year contract, that option blacks out on the screen.
That's
okay.
The buttons are usually gold and lit up, but it'll become gray, and you won't be able to click on it.
Okay, so I guess based off of that, you said how many? Go by each number again. So 4 years.
You have 1 contract that's 4 years.
So that was my Bo Nix deal.
Yep.
That doesn't include rookies, right?
Yeah, no, just for the auction itself.
Okay, so
manager going to the auction, regardless of rookie contracts, gets again 6 multi-year deals, 2 that are 3 years.
Okay, so 1 is the Michael Pittman deal. Let's see. Is Is this like total or like per auction?
Per auction. So this next year you'll get all 6 again.
Okay.
And you can. I think Danny, you had this question. You can like now trade for players, so you can hold multiple players on 4-year contracts. It's just during the auction, each person can only bid. Again, these 6 different.
Is that like the max? Because I'm like looking at my players that I signed. Michael Pittman, I know I got him on a 3-year deal. Oh, Jaden Higgins, that was the other one. I didn't even realize it. Jaden Higgins. The reason why I didn't realize it is because it's so cheap. 3 years.
And I think that's where I was going to lead off. Is I was pretty happy that I was actually, all my big contracts that I signed were 1 or 2 year deals. Those 3 contracts that are 3 years or longer, I saved them for very effective players. I guess the first one was Xavier Worthy. At that point, I think I had mostly just been passing up wide receiver. I really wanted either Derrick Henry or Christian McCaffrey, and that was going to actually be my first question. It's a little different for Danny than it is for D in terms of the cap space between the 2 teams, but I really wanted to save up for those running backs. So there was a lot of times in the auction where I was bidding up receivers, and my auction sheet that I prepared before, I've got a way to kind of calculate what I think should be the values of every player. There were a lot of receivers that weren't going for the value I thought, but I kept not clicking because I didn't want to invest that much at the wide receiver without really addressing the running back position. I felt like my team going into the auction, I had 3 solid guys. I had CeeDee Lamb, Jordan Tyson on the rookie contract. I just took him at 103. And then Luther Burden, who I had signed on a 1-year deal last year, very cheap. It was just a 1-year, $1 million, and got a cheap 2-year extension. So he's still on a very cheap, affordable contract. I think this year he's making like 1.9 million. So I felt, okay, I've got 3 solid receivers. I've got Ashton Genty and Chuba Hubbard. Really feels like the position I need to be more aggressive on is running back. So I was. So that meant waiting at wide receiver a while, and it paid off because of cheap receivers like D's Michael Pittman contract. Xavier Worthy, again, I got Worthy on a 4-year deal. This year he's making 3.6, which is only 1.2% of the cap. Which in RSO, the cap space is always equal to the NFL salary. So this year is 301.2 million. So to use my 4-year contract on a player that's making 1% of the cap, that's pretty smart use, I felt, of the long-term contract. If you're going to use it on an elite player, that makes sense too. But if it's not going to be a true top-tier elite player, you're better off for the more affordable long-term. I know D makes sense in a super flex league to use a 4-year contract on quarterback. If you're going to start bidding on quarterbacks, there's a young one there that you think is worth having for the 4 years in a super flex league where that scarcity exists. I think that makes sense too. So I think kudos to all 3 of us. I think our 4-year contracts made sense. For me to have the patience to just wait at receiver and get cheap guys like Worthy at that 1.2% or Jacoby Myers at 1.5%. Romeo Doubs, a 3-year deal where he's making less than 1% of the cap. This year's cap hit is 1.7 million. Those 3, I think in particular, would be the 3 contracts I'm most proud of because I've added good wide receiver depth, startable players. Doesn't feel like it's over redundant and I'm rostering too many wide receivers. I got them for so cheap that I was able to do what I wanted to do with my.
That's really. I never thought using the longer contracts on. It's very Billy Bean of you.
Yeah,
again, if you've got an elite player that you're going to just pay big amounts for,
right?
You think they're going to be good for 4 years. It does also make sense to pay them on a 4-year contract.
Yeah.
In this show may or may not have.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of I did not know that going into the auction on Saturday. So now I'm just kind of it honestly impresses me more as I look at some of these contracts of mine because it was like, I mean, just from last year. Obviously, I'm not going to I'm defending champ, so no need to go on about the value I got at
brother. This guy stinks.
Josh Allen. Listen, I just went and looked at all the contracts per position. I have a player, at least one player in like the top 8 highest in terms of highest contracts in each position. Sometimes 2, depending on.
You've got Breece Hall Breece Hall's the 2nd highest cap hit for running back this year. Justin Jefferson, the 2nd highest for wide receiver, as you alluded to earlier. So
Josh Allen is like 4th. Harold Fannin is like 4th.
Does that feel good that some of us are like me, for instance, and Danny are paying quarterbacks more than Josh Allen? Yeah, I love Jaden Daniels, so I'll gladly do that. But
yeah, I looked at it and I was like, damn, my player's not the highest paid players no more. Y'all, that's why at the beginning of the auction, I was like, oh no, some of y'all are going crazy with these contracts. Like I was like, hey, this is a little too rich for my blood. Hey, Danny, I'm in the crib like that's
like
a little too rich for my blood.
Yeah, like it's real money.
Yeah, I'm over there just like in the Chappelle skit, like hide the money, y'all. It's poor people around. It's me. I'm the poor person. I'm not paying that.
And I mean, so like Bam's mentioning in the chat, he franchise tagged Caleb Williams, which ends up being $48 million. Part of that is my fault for giving Jaden Daniels his cap hit this year is 57, almost 58 million. Danny, you've got Lamar Jackson, so it's not your fault. That was the manager last year who signed him, but a $60 million cap hit this year. So those two really bump up that average to the point where Caleb Williams' cap hit on the franchise tag is more than Josh Allen's.
Now, one thing I'm gonna say before I talk about contracts that I'm proud of specifically, I knew last year during that auction draft, whoever had Jalen Hurts, they letting him go. They not no extension. Yo, last year somebody signed them like a 1 year, $60 million a year or something like that. Crazy.
I think it was more. I think it was almost 70. I think it was like 68 or 69.
No, it was a great. As soon as I saw
it was the highest cap hit last year.
Yeah, as soon as I saw it, I just looked at my Josh Allen contract and I was all right.
Jalen Hurts much more affordable this year in the auction. His cap hit is much lower. It's at 31.3 million. Less than half of last year, so much more affordable contract to my former co-host in the Dynasty Six Pack, Raul.
Yo, I'll tell you what. Imagine if this was real life. Imagine if a quarterback signed a 1 year, $70 million deal, and then next year he came back and got. Listen, I don't think he would complain next year if he had to get a pay decrease. It's like, all right, my boy, you're not gonna come in here and make all that money and think about to have a team.
Unless you're Kirk Cousins.
Well, especially if the idea is okay, that was just a 1 year contract. We are giving you multi-year. So, like, your total guarantees will actually probably end up being the same.
Yeah. Great point, Kyle.
Because in this contract in particular, like the 2 year deal that Raul signed to Hurts, if you cut a player like a year before their season here, like for us, like we would have had to cut players 3 days before this auction. That's when the league turnover happened. If we had, we'd save money for this year, like 26 and then all future years. So, and those anything in future years is like half of the cap hit is what is considered the guarantees. So if you look at Hurts guarantees, it's all of this year's 31.3 million, and half of the 32 million last year. I guess that is still less guarantees than, that'd be what 16.3. Add that on, yeah, like 48 million in guarantees. I guess that is less guaranteed than the 1 year 69 million.
Yeah, next year
that is a pretty massive contract. That would be strange.
I think
fantasy football is wild, right? When it's an algorithm and it's just whatever the contract happens, it's not a human behind it. There's, Jalen Hurts in this instance can't protest against that. Say he refuses to play, right?
Right.
Jalen Hurts algorithm player or the player agent for him in the contract says it's okay, so he'll play.
He'll play.
We don't have to worry about holdouts. That is the one nice thing here. I mean, if our players hold out in the real NFL, then we have to worry about it. So.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it. Next year, I'm gonna come up. I'm gonna have a lot of cap space with Breece and Josh Jacobs entering free agency. I might have to listen during the season. I might have to consider extending one and letting the other one walk.
You can also still have the franchise tag, but yeah, you can also choose to not use the franchise tag. I don't believe I tagged anyone this year. I think I was happy to let all my expiring players go. No one was really worth it to keep it, give myself more cap flexibility. So
yeah, it also depends
overspend on a 33-year-old running back.
Yeah, it also will depend on what their extension numbers are looking like.
Yep, and that's going to be each player. Like there's definitely a formula behind it. It's a super complex. We don't actually know what it is. So you just when those extensions become available, you click on it, see what the amount is, and then whatever it is. Like you can't negotiate. There's some amounts could be pretty surprising. Some players could be so wild. The idea is it's not meant to be an easy decision. Like very rarely do you get sweetheart deals. Most of the time it's, oh, this is so expensive, I'd never pay this. You see, I tend to see that a lot more with extension amounts, more than, oh my God, it's so cheap, I have to. So when you do see one that you feel is cheap, you just jump on it and sign it right there, because very rarely are those a thing. Again, I got a cheap one with Luther Burden last year. I think you with Aik Iamaner, the ability to use that contract and just have that cheap contract existing. That's one less player you have to spend on in the auction that you've already accounted for in a cheap contract. It makes an advantage. I know I'm certainly happy to get Luther Burden in on a cheap extension. We might not have a lot of those going forward. Now all the rookies are on 4-year contracts, right? So
Right.
like a rookie like Luther Burden would be on a rookie contract. So,
Yeah.
cheap
Speaking
extensions probably aren't going to be there. We maybe get some lucky ones in year one of a league. So sorry, Dan, you missed out on that. But yeah, don't expect a lot of cheap extensions. You might get lucky. Again, if a player hasn't broken out yet and you got them cheap, you'll probably be able to retain them cheap. But if it's a really good player that you'd love to extend, you probably can't do it in an affordable way. Like, I'm planning to extend Jackson Dart. I signed him in a cheap 2-year deal last year's auction, so I have him right now super cheap, which is great. But yeah, in that extension, it's probably going to be expensive. So glad my third QB in CJ Stroud is just on a 1-year deal. So I've got a certain amount of money for quarterbacks this year. Move on from Stroud, have to pay Dart more. I'll have to find a way to get a cheap third quarterback next year, but that's kind of a next year problem. But yeah, we'll see what that Dart extension is.
Now you're talking like a GM. It's a next year problem.
It's a next year problem. I'm looking at contracts. I think of the 4-year deal, I'm most proud of the Bo Nix one. I did not know we can only get one 4-year deal. So shout out Bo Nix, brother. You and Josh Allen, y'all locked in for some time. Of the 3-year deals, I'm looking at it now. The Michael Pittman one, obviously, that's a really, really good one. A little over about 16 million total over 3 years. So that's a good one. This Jaden Higgins one, I'm realizing is a good one. I wanted to get him because I have him in our All Money In Dynasty and was like, he'd probably be a good player. So I got him on a 3-year, it looks like a $2 million deal. So if he breaks out,
he's technically making less than the minimum this year, because if you sign a player for a minimum contract right now, it's $500,000. His cap hit this year is $470,000. So when you get a cheap 3-year deal like that, or 3 or 4-year deal, you'll sometimes see that where the first year is so cheap that it's below the minimum.
Yeah. Oh, actually,
I know the Dog's just eating up that Higgins contract.
Yeah. Michael Pittman's cap hit, I was wrong. It's like a 3-year, $9 million deal. Maybe like $10 million. I was looking at his total value.
It's looking at, yeah, 11, I see right now it looks like 11. 3 years, 11.5.
Yeah, 11.5. Okay, I was right.
Which is fantastic. One of the things I felt like, okay, the very first player that came up in the auction was George Pickens. I suppose we could start chronologically like that. Pickens goes for, I think it's a $28 million cap hit this year. And I believe I was the last player in there. Like I was the last one to stop bidding up, and that the manager wanted. I was pushing them to a certain level. Again, ultimately, I wanted to go for the running backs, and I didn't. I lost the point of what I was trying to say, but whenever I passed up on a receiver, because it happened a few times. It happened with Danny, with Devontae Smith, and I'm sure Danny would love to tell that story. It happened with – there's definitely a few other receivers where it happened with, and most of the time I wonder, okay, am I going to regret passing them up? And very rarely did I. Because they ended up just being such, again, Xavier Worthy, Jacoby Myers, who else I signed? Signed Juwan Jennings for $1.5 million. Like I spent less than $10 million on 4 receivers, where early in the auction there were some receivers going for $10 million. Like DK Metcalf was like $10 or $12 million, and I was interested potentially in him. But I decided I'm going to let these players go, and I didn't regret it, except one. There was one receiver contract that I regretted not bidding up, where I stopped. I was the one bidding up the manager, and I was the last one to bid out. And he got Michael Pittman so cheap. And after I saw it, man, I should have kept going. I should have kept bidding him up and made him pay a little more. So kind of let the champ off the hook there with that cheap contract. So
yeah,
well
you
done,
did.
D.
Thank you. Shout out to him. So you get 2 4-year contracts?
No, just the one.
You get one.
Now, if you have rookie deals are 4 years. So any of your rookie picks would be 4-year contracts. And again, if you last year, whoever you signed your 4-year contract, I guess they would only have 3 years left.
Okay. No, Deion Burks is a rookie. Okay, that's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would have been a rookie.
So
And
1 4, 2 3s, 3 2s.
Yeah, exactly. 6.
Okay. I'm trying to look at my 2s. Dylan Sampson, 2-year $1 million deal.
Running back on a rookie contract. That's a cheap way to get one of those. So that was smart.
I don't even know if I use these other ones. The rest look like 1 year deals. Trey Tucker.
And you know what? I've found that sometimes too, where I leave an auction, I don't use all my 2-year deals, or I only used one of the 3 years. I definitely remember in my oldest RSO league, Moneyballers. Keely and I have been in that since 2015. I definitely remember 1 year I didn't use my 4-year contract. Just no player made sense to put on a 4-year deal. And the ones that did, I just didn't win them. So I just left the auction. Like I used the other 5. I used the threes, the 2 threes, and the 3 2s, but just didn't use the 4. So you don't have to. Those are the maximum limits. But in theory, you don't have to. You could sign every player just to 1-year contracts if you wanted to, and not bother on any of the multi-years. But
I
don't think
Jacoby,
it's a good strategy. We like having it's a good enough player. You want to have them.
I got Jacoby Brissett for a 1 year $1 million deal. No, 1 year $500,000 deal.
And so these are what would be considered the minimum contracts. That would be one where you just nominated him and no one bid him up, and you just won him based off the nomination. And I was telling this to Danny. These players can be cut at any time, and it's a 0 cap hit against them. You save all 500,000.
But these players also win you championships because a lot of
like
those
a player
players,
like Brissett, you're like that would be one where if he's starting, you want him, and then if let's say he gets benched for the year and he's losing his job, you can just release him and you don't have to worry about any dead cap. It would be so late in the year that it would be probably minimum anyway. But like that, he's maybe not a good example. Like I'm thinking of players like I signed.
I got Mason Taylor and Terrence Ferguson on 1 year basically minimum deals. Trey Tucker, another 1 year minimum deal. Dontavius Wicks, actually that's a 1 year $1.5 million deal. So shout out to whoever made me bid for that guy. Chris Rodriguez from the Jags, 1 year 500,000. Kamani Vidal, another 1 year 500,000. One that I was kind of going back and forth with, I got Travis Kelce on a 1 year $8 million deal. And the more I think about it, I don't know why I did that, because I also have Dalton Schultz and I also have Harold Fanning Jr. Obviously, I have 5 tight ends on the roster.
Whereas I've only got 2 on my roster. I'm feeling pretty good about my room. So yeah, I felt last year I think I gave Dalton Kincaid a 1 year like $18 million deal. Felt I overspent. Like I didn't, even though it's a tight end premium league, like it's a PPR league and tight ends get 2 points per reception. It still felt like by the end of the auction, I thought, okay, there were other values at tight end. Like I didn't need to do that. So I was conscious going into this year. I wanted to spend as much on running back. And if I was going after elite receivers, I wanted to spend as much at those 2 spots. Turns out I just spent as much as I could at running back. Thanks for those cheap contracts at receiver.
I'm just looking at by position. 4 QBs. I got 5 running backs. 1, 2, 3, 10 wide receivers and 5 tight ends. So
I have a breakdown of mine too. I just have the 3 QBs. Like I didn't add any. I have the 3 QBs. I still had entering the auction. Daniels, Dart, and Stroud, and I didn't. I nominated quarterbacks to get other people to spend money, which worked at times because there was some. Jalen Hurts' contract was decent. It wasn't last year's cap hit, but certainly nice to see $30 million go off the board for 3 quarterbacks, 11 running backs, 8 wide receivers, and 2 tight ends.
That boy don't care about that tight end position, boy. He said that get.
I mean, I've got Chigakonkwo and Hunter Henry, and I feel pretty good about starting either of them. And I feel we're only a 10-team league. I feel like there's I feel like there's tight ends available if I need to. There always is tight ends that emerge every year that we don't expect to earn targets that suddenly do. So I trust my ability between those 2 and playing the waiver wire that I'll be able to find tight ends to get me.
I just feel like
that's the bet I make, rather than spending.
As I'm looking at my team, somewhere out there in the Orlando Magic Kingdom fan pages, and all our team's fans out there that really want to see this back-to-back championship happen, they're probably confused on both my draft strategy and the auction strategy with the roster that we had coming back. This is why I want to tell our fans of the champions, defending, reigning champion, Orlando Magic Kingdom. One thing that we believe in here is paying our dogs and developing our pups. Okay.
What the fuck kind of?
Let me say it again. Around here in the Orlando Magic Kingdom, we believe in paying our dogs and growing our pups. What does that mean? As you can see, our dogs, they got that money. They got that money, baby. They know if you come to the Orlando Magic Kingdom, it is like Disney because everybody gets a story. Everybody's time is magical. So if you come here and you one of them dogs, you perform on that field over there, we don't get you that money. Ask my boy, Joshua Allen. Matter of fact, ask Mr. Brazier Hall. We just paid Mr. Fanan, and y'all know how we did with my boy Jettas. Justin is what they call him. Listen, but then you look across the board, we got a lot of depth at a lot of positions. We can stop the run. Danny Ocean, Danny Lake, Kyle Senra, Kyle Benra. And it don't matter if you're Bamda or Bopta. We can stop the run. It don't matter if you're Rojoan or Rotruthin. We can stop the run. This roster right here.
You did that. That'd be a great promo if this was the 80s.
That was the white man trying to.
This be a great promos in the 80s.
Right here,
Well,
what we got. We got the Heart of Champions. Defending, reigning Orlando Magic Kingdom champions. And you can look across these contracts. I know some of y'all GMs out there wondering, how did that goddamn GM over there, boy, get some of these contracts? We got the gift of gab, baby. And we know, and we got the eye. And our guy, listen, we got the same accountant as Jay-Z from the 90s, baby. You know what that means? That money washed away. And we gonna make it clean. And that's all I got to say about that. Magic Kingdom!
After listening to that, I know why you excel in your profession. You just pulled all that.
That was a great promo.
Yeah, I was there. Hey man, we need to get you down at the Performance Center.
You should be proud of that, D. But Danny, to the question you asked us, what contract are you proud of as a first-year auctioneer?
The answer, the contract that I'm most proud of was the Kyle Mununga idea for 3 years. I thought he would go for a lot more.
He robbed him from me.
Once that 3 years, 30 million, 9.4 cap it this year. That's pretty good for.
Once I saw that cap going up, I was like, that's when I was like, what the fuck I get Travis Kelce for?
And then
3 years on a rookie contract, so it makes sense.
Yeah, and then the Orlando Gratson, that one I was proud of. I thought he was going to go for more. The Devontae Smith one, when I went to the auction, I'm walking out with Devontae. Did I overpay for Devontae? According to what I was willing to play, I did, but Tet needed a horse to run with. I'm okay with it. I think Devontae, I do not think, he keeps getting the JSN comparisons around Philadelphia. I don't think he's going to have a JSN season, but I think it would be JSN adjacent in regards to how that offense runs and the targets he's going to get. I think the Eagles are going, oh, man. We had to sit there and listen to his bullshit for 7 minutes, and then he just jumps off when I'm talking that stuff. But
that's the new guy initiation, right? Like, you don't deserve any respect as the new guy.
But the Smitty contract, I think he's going to.
Well, so I guess context of letting people know, like, I was gonna say, like, we'll let people know, like, Devontae Smith ended up being the largest total contract sign in the whole auction.
Mm-hmm.
Before, if you had said that before, okay, the largest contract of the auction is going to go to Danny's team, it probably would have made sense because if you look at D, you already mentioned it, he had so many of his elite players last year were on multi-year deals. He very rarely had the elite player on a one-year deal. So he only had, I think, 28 million coming into the auction. So D, was that right, D? You had 28 million entering the auction, if I remember correctly?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Nah, I think mine was around 40 something.
40, okay.
Yeah, then after the Bo Nix,
still relative
it may have been a little bit more than that, but it was probably around somewhere between 40 and 50. And I knew when that Bo Nix deal came, I was Mr. Krabs.
But again, you built your championship roster, so maybe it makes sense to have. Because I believe you had the fewest amount of cap space coming into the auction. You're talking 45 million.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Bao Sinra.
Here we go.
We had one of the lowest cap spaces coming into this here auction, and one would say we left with one of the 3 or 4 best rosters. We personally believe it's the best. It has to be if we brought back most of our championship team.
I entered the auction with about 100 million cap space, so a little bit more bidding power on the elite players. Danny, I think you were at like what, 126?
I had a ton of money.
I believe you had the second most.
Yeah,
so
I had the second most.
It does make sense for you. If I have Devontae Smith as my number 1 player, I feel like I'm in a position I can just move. And you did. And it was
We gave contract
48. 4 years, 140
contract you gave that boy.
4 years, 140. He could be worth every cent. I'd extend him tonight if I could.
Well, luckily you don't have to worry about exciting him for another 3-4 years. But yeah,
time.
$32.5 million cap hit. Again, we're talking about like the highest cap hit, I think this year is still Jahmyr Gibbs. 2-year contract. I think last year he was still one of the highest. I think it's at 61 million. So 32 million is still a discount from what it's not the highest cap hit that was signed in the auction, because there's a couple of shorter term players that got bigger single year cap hits, but you did sign the largest total contract in the auction.
Yes. So, and I'm
congrats.
proud. And I'll still have 50 million.
Is what you got him at?
Yeah. But I still have.
Jetta said that's cute. Puka said that's cute.
That's fine. And I'll still have over $50 million in cap space next year. I felt so.
Because that puts Devontae at, he's not 11th. He's the 11th highest cap hit among receivers right
now. Oh yeah. And that's where he perfect. You know what's
so funny? Like you spent big on the guy in this year's auction, but still relative to some of the cap hits from last year, it's like the big like
Lord.
He mentioned he's got Jefferson and Puka a little bit higher. Malik Neighbors is making
Neighbors 3 over 170. Oh my heavens!
Yeah, coming off that rookie season, he was that
was Bam.
Well, you know what, Bam, and I bought the rookie year hype of Jaden Daniels to sign him to a massive contract too. So I feel you.
You got to do it, man. I'm not mad at any of those deals.
But nothing says really spending like 4 over 225.
Who was that?
Justin Jefferson.
Okay. You know what's funny? I got Jared Goff for 1 year, $10 million. I was like, damn, that's a steal. You got the juice. And then Sam Darnold went for 1 year, $2 million. And I was like, God damn.
No, that's a real steal. Nobody, Sam Darnold came up and I peeped that. Nobody was really bidding on him.
I put in the chat, I was like, that is excellent value, because that's how much I got Shador for. Was 1 year.
Mind you, I got Jacoby Brissett for 1 year, 500,000. So if Jacoby Brissett, a starting QB, going to at least throw for like, let's just say 3,500 and like 25 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, worth every penny. And I really ain't got to start him like that.
Because I ain't gonna hold you. I bid on
bye weeks, injuries. Yeah,
I thought Bam was gonna bid on Shador. I thought Bam wanted Shador, so I was just trying to drive up the price. And then it was 1 year, $2 million. He didn't bid. I was like, shit. Nah, but it's only a 1 year, $2 million deal. So
I know. So you ended up getting the absolute number 1 guy you wanted. I didn't have quite as much cap space as you did, but I know, wanting to refine my running back room entering the auction, I just had Ashton Genty and Chuba Hubbard. I felt like I wanted to upgrade that RB2 and B, just get a lot more depth. So looking at Christian McCaffrey and Derrick Henry in the auction, those were the 2 guys I really wanted to leave with one of them. Our friend Rojo Truther Akili ended up giving McCaffrey 3 years, $112 million.
Yeah,
which I was bidding that up too. Like that was one where I had to kind of let that go and say, okay, well, I hope I can get Derrick Henry. I actually ended up having the highest cap hit from a player in this year's auction, Derrick Henry. I've got him on a 2-year contract that's worth a total of $78 million, I believe. This year's cap hit is 38.2. So that is, again, condensed to a 2-year contract is why that cap hit is so much higher. Didn't really want to give someone like Derrick Henry even a 2-year contract. I still felt a little uncomfortable there. I was ideally a 1-year contract. it got to the point where the 1-year deal became so expensive that go for the 2-year to win that amount, it'll be a little bit cheaper. The more years you spread it over, the less a cap hit, especially in year 1, you take on. So I'm sure that was Achilles' thinking with Christian McCaffrey. Was okay, he wanted him at a certain amount, and that amount was too high for a 1 or 2-year deal. So to get him at the cap hit he wanted, he had to move it to a 3-year deal. So we all kind of have to make that choice every time in the auction. Again, knowing we have the finite number of multi-year contracts. Again, ideally, I wanted Henry on a 1-year contract, but it became so like my plan going in was I think spend whatever the highest I should spend on a player is 32 million. Kind of calculated that through my formula. This I ended up overshooting by 6 million. So I still went over what I prescribed. If I'm going to go over that much, I wouldn't want to go over on like a 3 or 4-year deal. So I justified it. If I was a 1-year deal, it would have significantly gone over that amount. I can kind of play the middle ground with a 2-year deal. I'm only overshooting it by 6 million. And I still was able to get a lot of value and build my team up. So overspending on Derrick Henry, quote unquote, didn't hurt me in the long run because I still felt I built my team really well, but I left with one of the 2 players I wanted. So
Danny,
if I didn't get good wide receiver value later, that might not have worked, but I was able to, again, get 3 or 4 really good receivers for cheap, and it all balanced out. So welcome to the team, Derrick Henry.
Danny, now I don't know about you. See, Kyle came into it with spreadsheets and knowing how much to XYZ spend. I came in that motherfucker with straight vibes. What? I'm telling you, I'm at the computer like.
So I didn't have a spreadsheet like Kyle, but I had tiers. Like Devontae, I clearly had how much money I was willing to spend on Devontae, but everything else, like running, like receiver, like I had guys that I was targeting. Like in a tiered session, I didn't have the only one I had a contract written out for was Devontae, but everyone else was tiered.
Nah, I was in.
And I'm curious, how did you figure out that Devontae amount?
What did I do? Because I did this back in May. Oh,
looking at what contracts existed already and where he should fit into.
And then RSO they had a mock option, and if you go in, I think where was it? It gave you like suggestions like. Devontae would get this much, and I just kind of added how much I'd be comfortable. Like him laughing. See that he should have never won this league because he's gonna be an asshole.
Listen. Every number that pop up there, I'm like,
He just vibed.
I swear to God, it's straight. I'm like, I'm literally looking at some people like I wouldn't pay that person to sit in my casket. I'm not paying you in fake money. Some players I'm like, I don't trust you in redraft. Hell no, I'm not giving you real money.
Right at the end, my last player I won with like, okay, I've got all this money left to just win one player. So I was kind of bidding up pretty aggressively on Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt. I know he was for Bill.
I was in there just kidding.
I would say I maybe overspent on the extremes. The first player I won, Derrick Henry, I probably overspent on. The very last player I won, Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt, I probably overspent on. But in between, I felt like I got good value. So I justified both in my mind that, okay, this is where I can splurge a little bit because I'm so disciplined everywhere else. Again, not going for a crazy amount on Devontae Smith and knowing that, okay, if I wanted wide receiver to be my priority, I would have gone higher on Smith. But I wanted running back to priority. So I stay disciplined. As much as I wanted Pickens or Smith or Olave, I kind of had to just let them go. Mostly worked again.
Losing Chris Olave hurt. Shout out Michael Pittman Jr. Then we got him out of
Devontae. Well, and with the Olave, I've got Jordan Tyson from the rookie draft, so I suppose that's already the bet against Olave. So.
That's true.
He's my second highest cap hit among receivers. It's funny. I broke down my team spending, and like if you go to the War Room on RSO, you can see it per position. But I took all of my quarterbacks, running backs, and CeeDee Lamb. So that's 3 quarterbacks, 11 running backs. CeeDee Lamb, that'd be 15 players. That's 88% of my cap for those 15 players, and then 7 other wide receivers I have, and my 2 tight ends. That makes up 12% of my cap. So I overloaded a lot. Again, it's the CeeDee Lamb contract, Jaden Daniels contract, Genty and Derrick Henry. Like it's a lot of really big numbers there. And running back takes up almost half of my cap hit for this year, but it's also almost half my roster. I've got 11 of 24 players at running back. 48% of my cap hit is towards running back. So it's proportionate because I'm just spending so many roster spots on running back. So as much as I'm spending big on Genty and Henry, I also don't think it's completely out of control. Those two are 40 million, 30 million. Everyone else is below 20. There's really only a few guys above 10. So some rookie contracts as well at running back. And then, CeeDee Lamb, 45 million. But the rest of my receivers, it's Tyson is the second highest just for being the 103 in the rookie draft. It's still a cost control 4-year deal. But then Jacoby Myers is the next most expensive. So, again, barely spending anything at tight end. But I'm happy with a lot of those players I'm not spending a lot on, whether it's at wide receiver or at tight end. And between Myers, Worthy, and Dubs.
Yo, Jared, somebody got to go from down here. If I'm you, somebody got to go.
What? $16 million in cap space. I'm fine.
I mean, and to be fair, like, let's say someone else runs into a quarterback injury in the season, like, you potentially have trade chips too, right? So as we're needing to start lineups too, the trade market will certainly intensify. This hasn't been a league where there's been a ton of trades through I guess a year and now 2 auctions. There's been some trades made, but not a ton constantly. Those markets are certainly there, especially in season when you need to start players. So.
Indeed, when you're ready for a salary dump because you have no cap space, come talk to me.
All right, since you want to talk about the Orlando Magic Kingdom defending champions, look at this.
I'm just saying, how much cap space do you have right now? $954,000.
Okay.
Yeah. Whenever
But here's the thing. I already got tradable assets, brother. Jacoby Brissett. Look at this. If he turn up, this is tradable, and someone wants to pay me.
What's $500,000 on your salary cap? So what you gonna have? A little over $1 million.
Couple backups if I need to.
Okay. Free agent. All right, killer. I hear you.
Look how balanced this is though. 21% on the quarterbacks, around 30% on the running backs. That's just 2 players. Look at this. It's actually crazy. Hey, one of y'all.
Yeah, I know, right? It's
one of y'all getting the boot. One of you boys is getting the boot. It's okay. 36% on wide receivers, but look at the value. Look at the value. Look at some of this.
You see, you're spending Jefferson 54, Puka 42. After that, everyone's below 4 million.
Yeah.
So good to have depth without spending a whole lot on it.
And then tight end. I mean, come on, Harold Fannin up here. Listen, he just taking it, but still easy money. Just good quality backups. You got some youngs down here. You know what I mean? Come on now.
Whereas my percentage is a lot less balanced. It's, again, 48% of my cap hit just on running backs, but another quarter on quarterbacks. I'm only spending 1.5% of my cap hit on tight end. Conquo and Henry combined, I think, for 2.4 million.
Yeah,
that's my spending at tight end. So I've taken that sort of approach, hoping that it works. Again, I've been able to maximize, because the way I see it, I've got 7 running backs that I feel like I can start. Between Genty and Henry, obviously the big guns. David Montgomery, I thought was a good contract. 1 year, 19 million. I thought that was fairly good value. I still believe in Chuba Hubbard, the Canadian, but I also have Jonathan Brooks. So I kind of count, if Brooks takes over, I still have the Panthers starter. So that's really 4, I think, clear starters. I think J.K. Dobbins is the starter as long as he's healthy in Denver. And maybe it's not a full workhorse, but he should certainly be the lead back. I think he's startable in fantasy. Between Corey Krosky, Merritt, and Kenny Gainwell, they might get a lot of work in their respective backfields. I think it all depends on, especially injury for Gainwell. Like if Bucky Irving really is hurt and it's taking a while, he might be the leader there too. So I felt like I've got 7 guys I'm comfortable starting in my lineup at running back. So that's kind of where I'm building the core of my team. Again, the 2 anchors being Ashton Genty and Derrick Henry. So.
You know what's funny, Kyle? When I think you and I got into a bidding war for David Montgomery because I got really excited. I was like, "Oh yeah, like that. He would have been the cherry on top." And then rich for my blood. Are you looking at Achilles?
I like that at 19 million. I mean, DeAndre Swift went for 30 million.
Yeah,
I feel like they're pretty comparable. I think, if I remember correctly, Travis Etienne and Javonte Williams, it was like 2-year deals where the average was in the 20 million. So I thought 19 million for Montgomery seemed like a good value. Later, there were some other running backs that came out as pretty good values too. But
Kyle, when is the trade deadline?
I believe it's week 14. I can look that up right now. If you go to the place, like the league rules where the scoring settings are, there should be a I think it's either acquisitions. No trades after December 3rd.
Okay.
So that might be week 13, 14. I tried to push it later, I think.
I'm just looking at some contracts. I might try to, depend on how the season goes. One you two might.
And what'll happen? Like let's take the Brees. Like let's take Josh Jacobs for example at $30 million. If you try and trade that later, like it's $30 million right now, but each week that accumulates, it accumulates per week, right? So if you trade him after week 4, let's say, that's a month worth of weekly contracts. So 4/17 of the contract will have expired. So the manager buying them won't be spending $30 million on their cap hit. It'll be less. So it also helps with the trades. The further the league goes on, especially the closer to the deadline, even the big cap hits become minimal because over half of it's already been used up in terms of like weeks accumulated.
Who's the beat writers for this team? I know they're writing right now how, depending on how the season goes, Josh Jacobs could be a trade asset that the Magic Kingdom use for assets going into 2027.
I think he'd be in jail.
Huh?
What did he do?
There was an accusation of domestic violence.
Okay.
As far as I understand, he still hasn't been charged.
Oh, okay.
And he'd been at practice pretty much ever since.
So that was something where like they either laid charges or dismissed them immediately, or they just never laid charges. So he was arrested. There's a process, then he's immediately released. It seemed like,
or they handling it behind closed doors.
Speaking of which, when did the Packers report to training camp?
Today. I think everybody reported today, right, Kyle? Yeah, they had to because they announced that Michael Parsons is starting on the PUP list as we go ahead and shift into episode officially 230 of the Speak On It podcast.
Hello, everyone.
We're about 47 minutes in, but you guys already know. You hear this voice. It could only be one brother, the good brother.
You talking about me?
Good brother.
You're the good brother.
The good brother. And when you see this Niles fade, of course, you know it can only be one brother, the good brother. Los D Mix, DJ Los D Mix to some. Joined here by the smoothest bald head on the East Coast, Mr. Danny Ocean. How we doing?
Shaved my head this morning. Doing great.
And then, as you guys have heard for the last 40 minutes, as we've really chatted about the auctions and the contracts, we've got the commissioner himself of our RSO, or I like to think of it as the Speak On It Auction League. Mr. Kyle Senra, how we doing?
Doing fantastic. Anyone can tell listening to the episode, I love talking about reality sports online as a fantasy football format. I love talking auction drafts. I love talking fantasy football. I certainly love listening to you guys talk sports.
Oh yeah, I love this auction draft, and I'm not just saying that as the come on now. I'm not just saying that as the reigning defending. I'm not just saying that as the reigning defending auction league champ. But if you must know, we feeling good over here in the champs.
That's still the best belt they've ever.
I know that's not a non-champion talking. I know that's not a non-champion.
I was complimenting the belt. I'm saying that's the best belt. That's the Wing Eagle, right?
Yes, sir.
It's the best championship belt they've ever given us.
Yep. Originally purchased
For
2021. This was supposed to be the belt that goes to the All Money and Dynasty League, but due to customs and my fear that one of y'all might damage this expensive belt, I decided to keep it here. And now, since I have won the inaugural RSO Championship, Auction League Championship, I like to call it the Speak On It Auction League Championship. We have our custom championship belt. Think of this as like when Stone Cold Steve Austin made the Smoking Skull title. This is my Smoking Skull title, which means if y'all ever win the championship, if you're able to win the Speak On It Auction League Championship, you won't be getting this belt. You will just be getting the money. But for the inaugural champ, listen, they can try to take many things away, but everyone always remembers who was the first. Champione. Rojo.
Who was the first champion in our Dynasty League?
First champion in the Dynasty League was Mr. Ronald Isley's tax returns, Mr. Danny Ocean. But I also want to let it be known that when Danny first won this championship, we recently had seen people storm the Capitol building. So it has been a minute. Them people ain't even do a lick of jail, and if they did, they was
about to storm the Capitol again.
Yeah, and if they did do any time, they was in there at Martha Stewart's jail. Ladies and gentlemen, we're happy that you could be here. Appreciate y'all been listening. Listen, we got some topics in the NFL. Of course, you can tell by the title. We got one big topic in the NBA. We got some SummerSlam stuff. Start off with a little housekeeping before we get into it. I want to start out with some prayers up to the Chiefs OC, the wife of Chiefs OC, Eric Bieniemy, reported that she was shot
by their son. That man had the Wiz Khalifa patch. Put his nut ass in jail forever. It is 2020. Did you see the mugshot?
I don't think I wanted to see the mugshot.
Go look at them. He has the Wiz Khalifa blonde patch. It's 2026. That was popular in 2011 when I was in college. Put that man in jail forever. He don't need to see the sun. Look it up and put it on the screen. Tell me what you think. Exactly. I heard it from here. Exactly. Jail. Because she's still fighting for her life, right?
She required surgery to treat the wounds, and a portion of a projectile remains in her body. He shot her twice, injuring her left forearm and left shoulder.
Jail. Straight to jail.
Says he's 27.
I don't care how old he is. Jail.
Yeah, he need to be in jail. Prayers up to the Bieniemy family and the wife. Second, sort of housekeeping item. Spider-Man, new Spider-Man coming this weekend. I'm gonna let y'all know right now. I'm gonna be in New York City this weekend.
Mr. Globetrotter.
Well, I told you way back when I got tickets to the J. Cole concert. Remember when I told J. Cole put his tickets out, and then a couple of days later, Hove put his tickets out, and I ain't never been. I'm grateful, but boy, I ain't never been so sick in my life.
I've been to a Jay-Z concert, best concert I've ever been to.
I'm talking about it was mere days.
I know. I remember you were sick.
I was like, yo, if Hove would have, whatever. Anyway, J. Cole at Barclays this Friday. I'm being in New York City all weekend, but on Sunday, I'm going to an AMC in Manhattan. I'm seeing this new Spider-Man.
I'm seeing it Friday. I'm off on Fridays. I'm going Friday morning, 9:50 a.m.
The theater I'm going to, it's kind of packed even for a Sunday at like 2:15.
Yeah, like I'm gonna go to the gym Friday morning, get some squats in, and go straight to the theater.
Listen, I think the more trailers I see and more stuff I'm hearing about Doom, it's like, yo, I ain't gonna hold you. A couple nights ago, I was up kind of late. I just randomly threw on Infinity War just to get that feeling back. That boy Thanos in Infinity War was getting bars off, and anybody who got the one-on-one fade, it was quick, bop bop, bop bop.
I'm excited. I don't think I've rooted for anyone more than Doom.
Doom will be fun.
Whatever Doom want, Doom get.
Speaking of which, Comic-Con also was this past weekend. Big things coming out of this one. They announced a new Daredevil coming with Ryan Gosling. They also announced Black
Ghost
Panther.
Rider.
Ghost Rider. Daredevil. Ghost Rider. That's what I mean. Ghost Rider.
Season 3 of Daredevil Born Again just finished shooting.
That's what I mean. Season 3 of Daredevil just finished shooting. Ghost Rider with Ryan Gosling coming. And then they also announced Black Panther 3 with the new Black Panther. And this movie has some rumors that Denzel might be in it as well.
You know, I'm kind of pissed because I emailed Ryan Coogler like 3 years ago after Chadwick passed. And I was like, hey, dog, I'm right here. I can be the Black Panther. Never responded.
Yeah, I don't see that.
I thought you would have done well.
Sorry, thank you, Gal.
Bam said he's over Avengers. It's played out. Okay,
I'll
be in the theater with Doom. I'm gonna be in the theater with Doom.
So I'm a huge.
How many rappers do you know name their name after a villain with the mask and it was still wavy? I'm gonna be right there with MF Doom, Dr. Doom, Robert Downey Doom, whatever. I'm there.
I'm a huge X-Men fan, so I'm finally happy the X-Men get in the MCU itself.
Yes.
In the periphery, so kind of cool to see how they'll transition it all together.
Although, listen, the original Magneto from the early X-Men, great actor. I appreciate him. But new man's that's been rocking Magneto, he tough. I wish they would have got him. Like the new Charles and Xavier, I wish they would have got them. But
I'm excited. Turn it up. I need, like you said, MF Doom, no copyright issues, no nothing. Marvel's like, let it ride.
Let it ride. And that shit was super tough.
Rest in peace, MF Doom.
Rest in peace. He blocked this shit with the 2 fingers. I went back and I was like, damn, how strong was it? Bro, do you remember this? One other thing I was peeping. In Infinity War, after Thor made Stormbreaker, he come down, they get the wobbling, right? So when he peeped that Thanos had it, he go over there and he come with the axe. Mind you, all the things. Listen, put it like this: when he threw that Stormbreaker at Thanos, that shit still got him. Like he tried, still boom, got him. Doom stop.
If it had hit him in the neck or the arm, like it cuts his arm off, it's all over. He cuts his head off, he's dead. He can't do anything, right? Like, it's like
and Doom just said,
"Okay."
His armor that like his armor is like endowed with magic. Like I've never seen like a Death Battle YouTube channel and they explain the characters. His armor somehow exists and doesn't exist at the same time. So it has all the benefits of existing as if it like protects him, but like nothing can affect it. So like I know they had a death battle between Doom and Darth Vader. Doom ends up winning because Vader can't use the Force on the armor because the armor doesn't exist. While it does exist, it simultaneously doesn't exist. So the Force and the Metachlorians can't affect the armor. So like I'm guessing that like there's something to do with the armor that his ability to stop.
So I'm a preemptive pause. I can't wait to see Doom stretch Reed out.
Oh my gosh, yo, okay. I'm gonna just listen. My dad and I were chatting last week, and he was like, honestly, the way he was like, really, Doom is unbeatable. Like you can't really beat him. You can only stop him or delay him. He said that's how he was like. That's why I'm excited to see where they take it because Doom really. My dad was like, yo, if you were to think about across all superheroes, like any superhero manga character universe, Dr. Doom is at the top of top 5 in a lot of lists of bad mofos, good or bad, that you really don't got an answer for.
Oh, I can't wait till we get Battle World.
It's gonna be like, listen. But before we get
he's gonna stretch Reed out. Keep going. Okay. My bad.
Before we get to Doomsday, we got to get to kickoff day. And the NFL is really bad. Run through a few headlines here. Teams are reporting to training camp officially. Did you guys notice that the NFC West started training camp on Monday? And I was like, why the fuck would they start camp Monday? Well, it's because two teams play on Thursday, Niners and Rams. Seahawks and somebody else play in Seahawks play at home. Niners, Rams play in Australia.
Oh, right. Yeah. They play on the Thursday, but it's.
Yeah.
And then who has the Hall of Fame game? Arizona has the Hall of Fame game, right?
Arizona, Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because
So they've been at training camp for like a full week already now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So listen, this is the time of year where every time I pick up the phone and I see Adam Schefter name or Bleacher Report, I'm just praying it's not injury because this is around that time.
Hold your breath, right?
This is the time of the year during if you got a dynasty team where you're just sitting there like, oh my god, season over.
Just finished our auction.
Like season over before it began, and I still got to pay this money. So now you already.
Well, and I guess the one thing with RSO now is the only way you can save money off a player for 2026 is if you put him on the injury list.
Okay.
If you were to cut a player right now and they have a multi-year contract, you still save half the cap hit in 27 and 28, however long the contract is. But right now, if you were to cut a player, his 26 salary is fully guaranteed. Right. But again, you put him on IR, you save half of the cap hit for as long as they're on IR. And again, it's one of those things where because of the weekly accruance, when you bring them back on IR, their cap hit isn't quite the same as when you put them on because more weeks have accrued. So when you're coming on, it's not quite as much money.
So I can put Chris Bell on IR right now since he's on the pup list.
Sure. I mean, you can put any player on IR. They don't have to actually be on IR. but know that there is the minimum requirement. Like if you put a player on injured reserve, they have to be on the injured reserve for 4 weeks. You cannot activate them.
Okay.
Time.
Well,
I think it's
not
we
playing
give
anyway.
I think it's 3 spots. There's 3 IR players that can be activated to your team. So not every player you put on IR you can bring back either.
Okay, good to know. Well, I'll keep him on the active roster then.
Yeah, keep him on the active roster. He ain't gonna.
I don't think he's going to play this year. If he does, he's not going to play till like second half of the year.
Reporters that bitched at the Jags reporter for being kind are somehow quiet when Kyle Shanahan got into an accident 11 days ago. Crazy, ain't it? Great. We'll talk about that. And prayers up to Kyle Shanahan. Last housekeeping item for football. Next week, we are going to start our yearly divisional breakdown. This year, we're going to do probably multi-divisions at a time. So we'll start off next week with the AFC and NFC South. The 17th, we won't be podding. We'll come back on the 24th. We'll actually knock out 4 divisions. So that'll probably be a large chunk of the show. We'll do both the AFC and NFC West and North. And then the 31st, we'll do the AFC and NFC East. And then basically the show before the season starts, we'll do awards and playoff predictions. So be on the lookout for that. I know that's one of our most anticipated times of the year. That's when we know football is really here.
My playoff prediction is I'm going to make the playoffs in the RSO League because I feel like my team is better than last year, and I did make the playoffs last year, so I feel like I can actually compete.
Listen, I'm happy to give a fantasy prediction right now. I'm going to make the playoffs in both my dynasty leagues. And if you include the auction league, I'm going to make the playoffs in all 3 of my dynasty-based leagues. And I go even a step further. I'm going to win a playoff. The Las Vegas Horned Ducks are going to win their first playoff game since
the league started.
Year 1? Since Danny... You just say Bart Starr.
Yeah. Maybe since we made the championship game that one year or whatever.
Well, my other RSO league, I finally made the final for the first time. And again, the league's been going since 2015. In 2025, I finally made my first final. Lost, of course. So now it's time to go right back. So that's my prediction, is that team is going back to the final.
I also have a prediction, last prediction. I have convinced 2 of my leagues that I'm in to convert from ESPN to Sleeper. One I commission, one I don't. My hot take is my hot take is these are 2 leagues. These are 2 redraft leagues that I want to win so badly. I'm going to win one of them. I'm going to win one of the 2 leagues I want to win badly this year.
Keely and I are in I guess we consider a home league where we go to cottage in McDougal, and the commissioner of the league, his parents, it's like where they live is at this cottage, and that's where we draft every year. So live in-person draft, which is fun. Keely and I co-manage a team, so
there's
see him because we don't live in the same city, so I don't always get to see him. So
all money in Dynasty,
that's my
redraft, and then my college redraft league. Those are the 3 leagues listen. I might jump out of traffic to win. Listen, going back to the NFL, one other headline, a couple more. Daniel Jones, Patty Mahomes. Looks like they're both tracking for week 1. Y'all think those are big deals or no deals? Real quick.
Massive deal, because I have him in Dynasty. So someone come trade for Daniel Jones.
So it's a big deal, and it's a big deal for all their receivers. I do wonder, like last year, both of them were really good in fantasy last year because they ran so much. There was a lot of rushing
both of them
touchdowns.
are saying they're going to run less this year.
So I don't know that they'll have good fantasy seasons, but their presence there helps their receivers. So it's a big deal for Tyler Warren, Alec Pierce, although he's still recovering from his injury, Josh Downs. It's a big deal for Rashee Rice. Big deal for my 4-year contract of Xavier Worthy. Your 1-year contract of Travis Kelce. So it's a big deal for those guys, maybe more so than it is for the fantasy assets of Mahomes and Jones themselves. I still feel like their upside is capped this year.
Listen, I'm going to say this. In my 12-team Dynasty League, which I was also, again, the inaugural champion. It's something about me in that inaugural championships in Dynasty League. I don't want to say it. Anyway, but in that league, y'all know a big part of my championship success that year was the value in which I got my two quarterbacks, which was 101 Patty Mahomes and 112 was Jaden Daniels. That was his rookie year. So that value with the two was really, really good. So that's all I'm saying. Patty Mahomes is back. A lot of my I have a lot of good running backs in this league, and I need Patty and Jaden to stay healthy. If Patty's healthy, the offense is clicking. Look for the Carolina Reds and Tigers. Reds and Tigers. We're gonna be right back, baby. We'll be right back.
No, Danny, you mentioned you have Daniel Jones and all money in, but you have him as your QB3, right? Like you're not necessarily relying on him.
Nah, that's his QB2. That's his QB2.
No, Tyler Shuck is my QB2, and I have Fernando Mendoza.
I mean, to Danny's credit, or like, he doesn't have to have a locked-in QB2 every week. Like, you don't have to make that decision right now. Like, you've got Jalen Hurts. That's the guy you're probably starting every week, and then you can afford to play the matchups.
Bam, I know you're hearing this. Bam, I know Bam is typing on his phone, laughing like shit.
Here's the thing. I don't have to listen to a man who ain't won a playoff game since segregation.
We ain't never been segregated in this league, my boy.
I've played the league the whole time, so it's not a segregated league, right?
I'm just saying segregation in general. Last time D won a playoff game, Jim Crow was walking around.
Oh, listen, here you go. Listen,
Jim Crow was Jim Carrey.
We're going to be all right.
That's crazy.
Some defensive players that signed. Jamal Adams signed to the Vikings. Danny, Jalen Carter got the big extension. How you feeling? Big deal, no deal?
Great. I don't know what took Howie so long. Pay that man. I don't know why.
Howie, I know I made you proud. We know we made you proud. Listen, Howie, I like this deal. And America, listen. Sometimes in life, America. That's all I'm gonna say. Sometimes in life, America, you can do some crazy shit. Some shit can happen. Some shit can happen, all right? And then you can wash away. And then America, you get paid. Wash the sins away. Let the tides take the day. Shout out to Jalen Carter. If you get it, you get it.
Orlando is kind of close to Georgia if you're going for an Orlando accent.
Boo this man. Nah, boo this man.
All right, 2 headlines in NCAA. That's kind of funny. Michael Lombardi, the GM of UNC, he basically for their GM helps oversees the GM and stuff, the NIL stuff. He was placed on administrative leave by UNC. This Bill Belichick era at UNC just continues to get more and more funny. What I didn't know out there was that Michael Lombardi is deeply, deeply disliked in the football community, and I did not know.
Yes. I think Al Davis said he's really good at getting fired, or all he does is get fired. Yeah. When Al Davis hates you.
Yeah, that's something. The other funny story coming out of, not funny, actually. The other crazy story coming out of the NCAA. Alabama NIL content director arrested in human trafficking sting. So apparently when they caught him, he was paying for a little prostitution services. They had estimated he paid for $100 worth of services. So my question to y'all is, what do you think you could have got done with $100? And don't answer that question. My actual question.
I'm not answering shit.
If this is how they caught Robert Kraft, how the hell he get out of that one?
He rich with money?
I mean, for the Kraft thing, right, they caught him at the massage parlor, but, like, you could go to the massage parlor for legit massage, so, like, your presence there doesn't necessarily incriminate you. Right? That's the idea. I don't know about this.
All I'm hearing is they coming for the rub and tugs.
Rub and tug is absolutely insane. We done here. Wrap this up.
We coming for the rub and tugs. Listen, as we shift to the NBA, let's get the small things out the way. Mario Hezonja going to the Cavs. He was waiting on LeBron. We about to talk about it. KCP, he got bought out from the Grizzlies. He going to the Sixers. We about to talk about who he about to join. Cool part, Stephen Curry is the first active player to ever have his own Hall of Fame exhibit. So Listen, I have a friend here where I live who's a big Bay Area fan. Obviously, I mean, he works for the Blazers. He's a big Blazers fan, obviously. But he's from the Bay, so he's a big Bay Area fan. Big Steph Curry fan, big Warriors fan. He has an argument. Like he legitimately had now I'm not gonna say he has an argument. He does have an argument, and he argues hard with valid points that if LeBron James is your GOAT, he can't be because Stephen Curry has beaten him 3 out of the 4 times that they have played in the finals. And he ain't never had to switch teams, stayed same place the entire time. And you can't say, look, and he was like, and you can't even do the whole KD thing because he won before, with, and after KD.
Yeah, I would lean into that. I'd listen. That's an argument. That's a strong.
See, but the counter argument is, okay, get that. But even when they played, he wasn't the best player in the series. You could tell that was still LeBron.
Yeah,
he was just on the better teams. 3 out of
and
the 4
LeBron
times.
has the most.
Yeah, it's funny. The only time Steph Curry ever played well in the finals was the time they lost to the Raptors. Every other time in the finals, Curry kind of
the last time
disappeared. There was disappointing performances.
Yeah.
Or when they beat the Celtics, he played, but yes, he played well versus the Raptors. They lost, and
that was the breakthrough finals performance. It was finally the year he played good in the finals, and I guess that carried over 2 years later when they beat the Celtics.
And then he's on the wrong end of down 3-1.
And that's the other argument. He was like, yeah, Curry beat him 3 out of the 4 times, but that one, heavy that wears the crown of that one.
So I know, like the idea between LeBron and MJ, like LeBron just like he's still playing. Like it's ridiculous. This is what season 23.
For LeBron, it's like you have the longevity
25.
argument. 24, 25, whatever. You have the longevity argument. You can always argue the best player on court at all times.
Yeah.
You can like statistical argument, record argument. He has and rings they're matched, and he has more Finals MVPs if you care about that.
It'd be Jordan or LeBron.
We're talking about LeBron and Steph.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant LeBron and Jordan. Okay, yeah.
But like the one thing about because I think LeBron Jordan, LeBron's longevity is still used as an argument there. Right? Okay, MJ's career is shorter.
I think LeBron's longevity argument is Jordan took the NBA to another level argument.
No, he still did LeBron.
The one thing I would say is that like what works against the longevity argument for LeBron is still the fact, okay, Jordan had this shorter career, but he led the league in scoring 10 times, which is an NBA record. Wilt Chamberlain did it 7 times, and D's not convinced that any of those 7 years actually happened since there's no video evidence of it. So you can almost remove them. The next highest is Kevin Durant and Allen Iverson, who did it 4 times. So the amount of times that Jordan was the best scorer in the league is kind of ridiculous.
The best scorer on the best team. So he's like, imagine the Thunder, but everyone is about as good as the whatever. I'm not going to do that. Anyway, yes, they were always on the best teams. I would say that maybe defensively, maybe there weren't as many defensive.
Didn't all we hear about how the Pistons played such tough defense in the 80s and it was so hard for them to get through?
Yeah.
Actually, no. I would honestly say that Jordan's NBA wasn't LeBron's NBA, and what LeBron doesn't have in scoring, he basically made up in assists.
He's only led the league in assists 1 time.
But he's top 10 in assists, right?
Sure, yeah, career. And again, we're nitpicking, but we're also nitpicking because it's the top one. I think it's Jordan. I don't know, like just how much he won. Again, percentage of time winning in the league. He still has more overall rings than LeBron, in spite of how many more years LeBron played. So just those 2 facts, right? Like, okay, the 6 Finals MVPs, the 10 years leading the league in scoring. Yet he's the one with the shorter career. It tells me he just maximized his career so much.
Which is cool. I just think if we're talking about who is the better overall like basketball player.
Oh yeah, LeBron's the better basketball player, but
Jordan was just.
Tell me, prime Jordan would just get the floor wiped with him with prime LeBron?
Well, now you're talking about the thing is, which one? 2013 or 2018?
Is there a version of LeBron that would be better? Because part of me thinks, like, as good as LeBron is, like, he'd outdo Jordan in the paint probably for sure. can he stop Jordan from scoring though? No one really could. I don't think LeBron could. As good as LeBron is, now
he's all
Jordan
defensive
stop
player.
LeBron from scoring is probably the same thing, right? Like,
That
would just be a
honestly, I think LeBron would have a little bit of an easier time putting some moves, like maybe making it difficult for Jordan than the other way around. We're talking about a 6'10", 230-pound tank.
But I feel like Jordan mentally, I don't think he could get in LeBron's skin.
He'd have to get physical. He'd have to get physical for sure.
Yeah.
Now,
that'd be amazing one-on-one to watch.
I did hear a story about them playing a game of pickup basketball and LeBron winning. But
and we also heard the story about LeBron getting embarrassed at his own Nike camp, and the footage was deleted.
By who, Jordan?
No, by LeBron. So what's the video?
That's what I'm saying. That's the one-on-one game I'm talking about.
No. LeBron got embarrassed by some kids at his camp, and the video was deleted.
Oh, well, some kids don't really.
Okay.
No. Speaking of LeBron, though, perfect transition. LeBron Watch 2.0 is over. LeBron James has officially announced that he is joining the Philadelphia 76ers, Danny's backup team.
Yeah.
Danny, he goes from one of our fan bases to the other on this show. Your thoughts?
First of all, I'm still a Mavericks fan, but this is great. Like the only person I feel bad for is Jaylen Brown, because you leave Boston to get from under Jason Tatum's shadow, and now you're in Bron's shadow.
But Bron's always operated best with that second elite player.
Yeah.
And now you got to
Brown be the Kyrie Irving for LeBron on this team.
Nah, I think
as a Raptors fan, I'm certainly more concerned with the 76ers.
I think Tyrese Maxey is going to be the one with LeBron.
Yeah,
I think Tyrese Maxey is going to go dummy. If he ain't got to have the ball,
trio is pretty insane.
The only thing you don't have an answer for Philadelphia is if you play the Knicks and play Cat, because I don't trust Joel's health for anything. Like, that's the only thing you don't have an answer for is Cat.
Right.
And if Cat is your only thing standing between you and the finals, I'll take the Sixers.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you like when I saw the starting lineup, what is it? VJ, Maxey, Bron, JB, and Embiid. I just looked at that starting lineup and said 25 to 28 games max. This 5 right here.
That's it.
The real question,
and it's all gonna be Embiid. It's not gonna be
who's gonna get injured first? What's gonna happen first? LeBron not wanting to play on the back-to-back or something, or Embiid being kept out for injury maintenance?
Oh, Embiid, 1,000%.
Is Embiid gonna start game 1? Do we even know that yet?
Yeah,
that'll be.
Are we sure?
All year.
Embiid will get you to November, and then we're gonna start seeing, and then we'll see him Christmas Day, and then we'll see him before the All-Star break, and then he'll ramp up after that.
I gotta believe it when I see it. Where do you think this puts the Sixers in the power rankings in the East?
Well, 1 in the East. Well, 2. Give the Knicks respect; they're the current champs. But again, if the only thing standing between Philadelphia is who gonna guard Cat, go ahead and put them in the finals.
I'm not really a basketball expert, not certainly to the extent you guys are. I was thinking second as well for the same reason. Okay, you give the Knicks respect because they're defending champs, and they're going to retain most of their roster, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like it's just a 1 year. Like they've been building to this. They got there and feels like they can maintain that. But we also, it's been a while. Like we've gone through like an era since the Warriors beat the Celtics where in that stretch no one has had multiple titles. It's always been a different team popping up here or there.
Back longer than that. It's been since the Raptors won in 2019.
I guess, yeah, I mean, like really, like the Warriors went back to back, and then in 17-18, and then since then it's Raptors. I suppose 19 onward, it's one title each for every team.
Bucks, Raptors, Lakers, Bucks, Celtics, Nuggets, Thunder, Celtics, Nuggets.
No, Celtics, Thunder. Celtics beat the Mavs.
Nuggets, then Celtics, I think. That's
Nuggets, Celtics, Thunder,
Knicks.
Yeah. And then next year is about to be the Los Angeles Mayo Lakers. Yeah.
They playing.
Oh, it's not going to be the 76ers?
No.
Listen, I think this puts. I think if Toronto and the Clippers were able to complete that deal, I think this would put the Sixers at 3 in the East. But it doesn't look like.
I love hearing that.
So I'm going to put.
Get on with that deal.
I'm actually going to say that the Sixers are 1 in the East. I put the Knicks at 2. I think this is, even if you have 4 out of the 5 of the starting lineup, and assuming Embiid is not out there, I still think this team is better than the Knicks. It's the better Sixers team that can beat the Knicks versus last year. So I'm gonna go with.
It sounds like everyone's out on Boston too. Like no one has mentioned Boston at all.
Yo, dog,
Well,
you broke up one of the best tandems to go get Paul George on basically.
It's all on Tatum now. Like this is.
Yeah.
How'd you guys find he did coming off the Achilles injury, right?
I think he should have waited a little. He could have waited a little bit, but I understand wanting to be out there for your team and wanting to make a run.
No, he wanted to be out there so Jalen couldn't get to shine.
So, like by the end of the season, did it look like he was to a normal spot where, like, entering this year there should be no lingering effects? Like he starts game 1 and it's back to 100%.
Bam said Tatum and Jaylen Brown been sending shots at each other. What you think?
They have. I've seen the stories. Oh, they talking about each other.
Talking about the smartest guy in the room and the camp thing and
jealousy. Hey man, he don't want to go bar for bar with passive aggressiveness with LeBron. LeBron is the king of passive aggressive.
Here's the thing: there's always that point in any LeBron team season where they go through a lull and LeBron just start. That's when he get. That's when you get. That's when you say the shit. You be like, all right, Bron, that won't even necessary.
Yep. And it's going to be great in Philadelphia. Passive aggressive Bron in Philly on a cold January night.
Oh yeah, because the fans are always so.
Boo! The fuck out of here, son. We heard that bullshit you said.
Yes,
John ain't going over here.
Exactly. Precisely. Friendliest people on the planet.
Speaking of friendly people, Obama got a chance to meet the WNBA All-Stars, and anytime you hear Barack speak, you be like, "That's a man right there. That's B-Rock."
Not B-Rock. Did you hear the Angel Reese story about Barack?
What?
So apparently her plane landed and she couldn't get off the plane, and she was like, "What you mean? I'm a VIP. Like, let me off this plane." And they're like, "Oh no, Obama just landed." She's like, "Oh my bad," and went and sat down.
Exactly. Listen,
who's more important than me? Former president of the United States. Okay.
Yeah,
one thing about America,
because it seems like Angel loves to feud with anyone. Angel, you're feuding with LeBron, or you're feuding with Barack Obama. Come on, Angel. Like,
what you did?
A little.
She sat down. She was like, "Oh, you said, oh, Obama, cool," and went and sat down.
Yeah,
so
she knew her first.
I think the thing about America that's funny. America loves the celebrities, but if your former job was president at any point to the day you die, you are a national treasure.
Yep.
Well, one guy's gonna test that.
Yeah, there's gonna be one person who tests that. If he make it that far, he gonna test that.
Let me tell y'all something. When 45-47 get out of office, assuming he does, they can't treat him any differently. He gonna be.
Well, you know what? He's clearly popular enough to win 2 elections. So clearly, there are enough people who do like him. So yeah.
Now, what I'm not. Y'all think he gonna move any differently lifestyle wise once he not?
Oh, absolutely. He's gonna be even more obnoxious.
He gonna be all up in Florida. Yeah, doing all types of BS.
He gonna be in New York. He gonna be in Mar-a-Lago. Yeah. Oh, he
gonna be in Vegas a lot.
He definitely. What'd you call them? The pulleys.
Definitely.
He definitely getting the pulleys when he get out of office.
Oh, you mean the rubbing tugs?
Yeah, he definitely snatches somebody.
What do you mean when he gets out of office? Are you assuming he's not right now?
Fair enough.
I hope so.
All the golfing.
Yo, there was a dunk in the WNBA All-Star game that I was like, all right, now I see y'all. I like that, and then I started asking myself, all right, but this a girl dunking, like that's really cool, but I don't want to make it too much of a thing because it makes it seem like they're not athletic. We know they're athletic, but come on now.
Did you watch the game at all? Did you watch the All-Star game?
I watched bits and pieces of it.
Because before that dunk, Becky Hammond was one of the coaches. She drawing these nut-ass plays for people to throw lobs to her. Them women ain't never thrown a lob in their life. Those are some of the nastiest passes I've ever. Becky, if no
this
one
stuff worked with the Spurs. Well, yeah, look, Throw it to
yeah,
Wemby.
yeah,
Throw it
Peterson.
anywhere in Wemby's range, and he'll catch it.
But you know damn well that none of them women have thrown a lob to anyone in their entire life, and you drawing up back screens for alley oops, Becky.
Bam. Listen, I'm glad you mentioned that. Bam said the WNBA after party was wild. Here's what I want y'all to know.
Right now.
Here's what I want y'all to know. If you go out and party, my heterosexual people, you go out and party with your fellow heterosexuals, y'all probably gonna have a good time. It's probably gonna be a good time. I need y'all to know two groups of people that party on a different level.
That's about to be crazy.
The gays
Yep,
and the lesbians.
they're the same.
And when I say lesbians, yes, of course. Yes, of course. I mean,
Same group of
of course. I mean, my beautiful femme lesbians. But I'm really talking about them studs. Them studs, baby.
Nope, not touching. Cal, we're not touching this.
Them
Let 'em-
There are
studs.
some
with
impressive
everybody
athletes in the WNBA. I will say that.
Listen.
I would say that too.
Very
Cal.
impressive.
All right,
athlete.
my homie brought up a good point the other day when we
Here we
was
go.
chatting about. He was like, "Yo, y'all ever really realize and think about why the USA women have won like 8 to 10 gold medals in a row? No other country got studs like us. America studs are built differently." He said, "Yeah, we got some straight women on our women's national team, but most of them is studs. So imagine you from Botswana and you gotta look across from real American-made studs. You is in fear for your life."
Nope.
It's not that much different on the men's side though, because America usually just dominates basketball both sides. So
I think
Yeah, no,
the
you're not
world-
wrong.
The world has caught up to the men.
The world catching up,
they
but
don't
not
automatically win every
women's
tournament
side.
anymore. Like, no, for sure.
But not so much on that women's side. Tim-
In Canada
Listen,
in the
Listen.
FIBA semifinals, I think,
Yeah.
and they had the World Cup.
The
basketball. I think
French
they
will win in LA in 28.
listen. American-made studs are like American muscle cars. These other countries can't compete. You
Danny,
may
I
have
disagree.
that luxury, but you can't put no old school Chevy on them roads. And our
You know what's
roads
going to
look
happen
like-
in 28, Danny, is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Jamal Murray, Lou Dort. Canada's taking that gold medal home.
Oh, okay.
No, they're not.
I'm putting my money on the French.
Shea Gilgeous has back-to-back
I'm putting my
MVPs. As far
money
as I'm
on the
concerned, he's the best basketball player in the world.
A. We're talking about the US.
Tyrese Halliburton is going to be the starting guard. I ain't putting shit on the USA.
Yeah, listen, the US of A gonna still be all right. And what I don't like, how y'all take my comment and conversation about the WNBA, and we over back on the men. We focusing on the women.
You
The
out here talking about- you ain't
WNBA
talking about who-
Well,
you talking
all
about
I'm saying
studs.
is that, like,
Well, I'm saying the
US
studs party, the gays party too. I done party with the gays. I done party with the studs and the gays.
US
Here's what-
US women dominate basketball, but US men dominate too. Like, it's US just dominates basketball. I just
True.
have to admit it. Like,
And we're gonna get our get
you
back to
guys
that
do
World
real
Cup.
freaking well.
Belgium. Yes, better make the Olympics or the FIBA World Cup. We're gonna get that get back. Listen. The gays, I party with the gays. I think with the gays, they keeping the drinks flowing and it's time. Now, a straight man, I ain't gonna hold you. I do kind of. All right, well, the gays is always a good time. No, it's just like sometimes I just kind of gotta move and shake.
This is why we steered you away from the conversation.
Let
now
him go. Just let him
when
go.
you party with studs. I'm just the WNBA after party was basically that's how they be, yo. They wild. It's a great time. They a great time. I love partying with them, but they wild. And don't let them be strapped up in the party.
That's crazy.
If they strapped up at the party, I promise you, one's
You and
coming
Bam-
out.
You and Bam, y'all should go out to a stud party. You and
Are
Bam.
we talking about wrestling again?
Yeah,
Bam-
we about to, Kyle. We about to.
Bam,
stick with wrestling.
I-
ain't
listen,
talking about
one day
WWE
I was-
stud. Here we go. Get this horny man out of here. See what you started, dude?
Hey, bam.
Aussie Fun.
easy.
Whoa. Okay. Listen.
No. Go ahead, D. Guide us through this. awkward ass conversation.
SummerSlam is this weekend.
No.
We're gonna
Go back
We're
to
gonna go
Mr.
through. We're gonna go through some
Horny.
predictions for SummerSlam. Brock versus Obafemi. Hell in a Cell. Who you got?
Oh, it's got to be Oba. It's got to be Oba.
Danny does not like Brock Lesnar. He has been very anti-Brock Lesnar every time.
Because
He drops wrestling on the show.
Brock can lose and still be Brock. Oba needs to go over. Like, Oba needs to be solidified as a star, and you do that by beating Brock in Hell in a Cell.
What's the other?
Brock is bulletproof.
Yeah, but
Like,
what's
Brock
the next?
could lose to Oba and come back in 3 months and be just fine.
I think we're nearing the end of the Brock Lesnar era, so I'm asking, what's the next big pay-per-view? Survivor Series? It is.
Yeah, but
Survivor
here's
Series
the thing.
War Game.
He'll lose at SummerSlam. He'll pop up at the Rumble and have his last match. And again, it'll be just as believable. Like, he can disappear and come back and win the Rumble in January, and no one. It's not unbelievable. We would complain, but it's
Man, give
not
me Brock.
unbelievable.
You talking? You give me Brock.
Brock will win, but he should not win. It is not good storytelling for Brock.
I ain't too confident in it though. Fatal Influence versus Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, and Paige.
Get this shit off my TV. I don't care. I'm going to the bathroom. They have done a disservice to the women's division the past 6 months. It's so frustrating. Like, we're back at the point where it's time to go to the bathroom. Why is Nikki Bella on my screen? She's 47.
Fatal Influence is his answer.
I mean, isn't Brock Lesnar older than 47?
Like, Paige broke her neck. Get her ass out the ring. She gonna die.
I'm gonna go with Nikki. I'm gonna go with the Bellas and Paige.
Get these old people off my screen.
Oh shit!
So Fatal Influence is like a group, because at first I thought that's a cool wrestler's name, but then
they're a faction.
Here we go. The bloodline.
More impressive.
The bloodline between Usos and Jacob Fatu versus Royce Keys Solo and L.A. Knight. Yeah.
Love. He has been flirting with championship contention for a while. He needs to push through. LA Knight gets the pin over Jey Uso.
Listen, y'all will know y'all gonna notice by my answers tonight that one thing I am gonna do is stand by my tribal chief, and I'm gonna stand by the family. Give me the bloodline. Here's what I will say though. Solo Sikoa as a heel. Solo Sikoa with a mic in his hand, funny as hell. He remind me of that big dude that you know is goofy and funny, but he got that ick. So you know if you really take it there, you in for a long day.
He got that. Here's the thing though. Bloodline has to lose. So what's my man? Jacob Fatu gets closer to Roman because he's Roman, they're losers. Why are they here?
I think it's gonna be a while. I think they still gotta build him, man. I think they still gotta build him.
Fatu has been built enough. That man's a monster.
Tell me you have faith that Nick Aldis beats Gunther.
No, Nick Aldis hasn't wrestled in 7 years. He's the SmackDown GM for a reason. Gunther gonna beat the shit out of him. He gonna choke that man out and leave. This is how Nick Aldis retires. This is how he get out of wrestling. We're gonna have a new SmackDown GM in 3 weeks. He gonna choke that man out.
Oh yeah.
And it's gonna be a squash.
I think this will be I think this will be one of the first matches. I think this will be over fast.
Yeah.
Liv Morgan, Io Sky, Women's World Championship on the line. I got Liv Morgan.
I don't want to sound. You think Hunter gonna take the belt off a white woman and put it on an Asian woman who don't speak English? Hell no, Hunter ain't doing that. That's not Hunter's style.
No, it is not.
And if Io does win, she's gonna lose it in 3 weeks.
And Raquel just won the Intercontinental Championship too, so they
that's
said
too much diversity as it is for Hunter. Hunter, you get one diverse champion. You can't have 2.
Come on, man.
Come on.
All right, main event.
Titles, I swear to God, the secondary titles. There's only one diverse champion for the secondary titles. You can only have one.
Too many. You're not appeasing to the audiences. Main event Saturday night. Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, WWE undisputed WWE Championship. Talk to me.
CM Punk. Cody has to turn heel. Either Cody loses, goes away, comes back heel, or he turns heel in this match and just starts his little hit list, starting with Sami Zayn.
Here I am, here I am, I'm the one I am.
Got the
Whoa! Give me Cody.
But
Give
this
me
goes
Cody
back to what I
Rhodes.
said earlier. Get these old people off my TV. CM Punk is 45 years old.
I know nothing about wrestling, and even I knew he was old. Like that. They've been talking about that guy for a while, haven't we?
Yeah, get these old people off my TV. We don't even
Dom
need
versus.
Is this the nostalgia era of wrestling?
we don't know.
Wrestling has always
start
been making
here.
off some nostalgia.
Yeah, fair enough. Every industry does.
Listen, Danhausen's going to beat Dom Mysterio. I want to
He
talk
is,
about,
and it's going to be funny.
I want to talk about the downfall of my boy Dom. But.
All right.
Trick Williams, Baron Corbin, USA Championship.
Trick Williams. If Baron could come in off, Baron hasn't wrestled in 4 years. He was released. If he comes off the street and beats Trick Williams, but what did I say? You can only have one diverse champion. So if Trick wins, who's the other one? Liv and Io? No, that's the women's championship is the main title. What was the other one we just talked about? It was that one. Never mind. That's the women's title is a primary title. That's not.
Here's the other secondary title: Penta Chad Gable.
Chad Gable. That's what I mean. If Trick wins, then Chad is going to win. If Trick loses, Penta will win because we can only have one diverse secondary champion.
I like Chad Gable. I think he finishes his story. I think and he earned it. I like Chad Gable. Finn, Sami Zayn, #1 contender. Who you got?
It's time to start building Finn up, even though Finn's getting old. Sammy old too. Give me Finn Balor.
I'm gonna take Sami Zayn. I don't think he's going to get his rematch. I think we're going to start to
I don't think
see.
he is. I
heel.
don't think Hunter respects him.
He might not. All right, there's a ladder match for the interim women's WWE Championship that Rhea Ripley had to vacate out of injury. Right now, we got Charlotte, Jade Cargill, Chelsea Green, Tiffany Stratton, and a wild card. Danny, are you bold enough to go out on the wild card win?
It's going to be Tiffany Stratton. It should be Jade Cargill.
I think they want one more match between. I think they're setting up for a triple threat between Jade, Rhea, and Charlotte. Give me Jade Cargill.
We need that at WrestleMania. Just 3 powerful women throwing each other around. Need that.
Come on now. Last match of SummerSlam. My Tribal Chief versus Seth Rollins.
Come on, man.
Listen.
Roman Reigns. No, we ain't even got to talk about it.
Come on now.
About it.
Kyle, what about you? Actually, real quickly, Kyle. Tribal Chief, are you with us? Acknowledge your
I
Tribal
have no
Chief.
idea.
Then just follow us and acknowledge your Tribal
Cal
Chief.
is smiling and participating. He don't know what the fuck we talking about. All he knows.
We're in the
is
CFL season. That's all I know.
That's all he knows.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for joining us on a special edition of the Speak On It podcast. Kyle, thank you so much for joining us. Let the people know where they can find you.
Well, I'm on Twitter at Senra Says. Tweet out a lot of stuff for the Fancy Six Pack or Going for Two. Whether it's videos, live videos on the YouTube channel. So be sure to subscribe, folks. A lot of great content here. I know speaking with Jeff Lambert this week, our redraft rankings should start to be on goingfor2.com real soon. This week, I'm planning to actually work on them and update them, and so the redraft rankings will come out. We're getting to August and redraft season, so super fun time here, fancy. And yeah,
sure
auction drafts are amazing, so I love talking. Thanks, guys.
Love auction drafts. Make sure you follow the pod at speakonit_pod. Make sure you follow myself at DJ Los D-Mix. Bam. Real quickly on the Ryan Clark stuff. Did y'all see? Hey, prayers up to Ryan Clark, man. That's not a way to lose your job. And shout out to his professionalism, because I can tell you, fire me live on air, I can tell you about the shit I'm about to say before I get off. Y'all gonna cut these mics real
Yes,
quick.
they're going to cut the mics off.
And I think they're still putting out videos of him. We fired you, and 3 weeks later, we're still putting out Ryan Clark videos. We fired you, but we filmed all this, so we can still exploit it.
These motherfuckers over here, this bit. Listen, y'all make sure y'all have a great week. We'll see y'all next week. We start our divisional breakdowns next week. This is Speak On It podcast. We love y'all. Peace.